in a better position to proudly call ourselves Ghanaians. And I'm talking about the issue of illegal small-scale mining, or what we normally refer to as galamsey. Galamsey is killing all of us. And that is why I think not just me, but a lot of people have described it as a national disaster, which needs an urgent attention. And it's a national disaster because it is not only affecting our farmlands, it is making people ill. It is not only making people ill, it is affecting our unborn children. It is not only affecting our unborn children. Strange diseases seems to be happening and taking place in this country. Our water bodies are being sacrificed. And all of this boils down to one thing: political interest. We are in a dispensation now where we need to confidently tell ourselves that it is time for us to put aside our political interest and save our own country called Ghana. Put aside our political interest and save you and me. Save our future, save our lives. This evening we are discussing the galamsey menace that is speedily sinking this country. And so you are going to be invited to get interactive with us. As always, if you look at, on the screen, you will see our social media platforms and handles. Get interactive with us. Our WhatsApp line will be displayed. Get interactive with us as it is on the screen. The question we want to engage in, devoid of partisanship, whether you are a PNC, CPP, NDC, MPP, whatever, we are in a national disaster state as we speak now. How do we fight successfully this galamsey issue, or this illegal small-scale mining, which seems to be sinking our country? Get interactive with us. Tell us how you think we can stop this galamsey, how we can manage this illegal small-scale mining, or how we can even manage the small-scale mining and stop the illegal small-scale mining. We'll be taking a short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll dive deep into this conversation. But in the meantime, I expect you to start engaging with us on our platform as we have it on the screen, 050-888-1800. You can see it on the screen. Get interactive with us. Tell us simply how best you think we can stop this menace, how best you think we can resolve this galamsey issue. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. Natural mineral water. Simply natural. For bulk purchase, call 0596 273 546 or 0596 273 547. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome to AutoCheck Vehicle Diagnostic and Licensing Center.
I hear my car can be checked here without going to Accra.
Sure.
Emission, check.
Alignment, check.
Brakes, check.
Visit AutoChecks at Koforidua Aquadrum Road for the roadworthiness of your vehicle, from saloon cars to heavy-duty industrial vehicles. Madam, your car is now ready for the road.
Thank you so much. Auto checks. Check.
AutoChecks, Your safety, our priority.
Check, on two checks.
Welcome back to your transformative program. I'm still your host, Emmanuel Jr., the Chief Crusader against corruption here in Ghana. As I indicated, we are going to discuss Galamsey. We are going to discuss a national disaster, something that is happening in Ghana, which is speedily killing innocent individuals or citizens. And if the trend continues this way, it's just a matter of time. It will get to your doorsteps. It will get to my doorsteps. And that's the reason why, with immediate effect and with all the energy in all of us, we need to collectively come together and say that enough is enough. We want to stop Galamsey and stop it now. I want us to watch this video. Let's see the effects. Just like as an introduction, just see what Galamsey is doing to you and I, doing to our environment. Just watch this. It's about 2 minutes. I'll come back again.
Is what Africa's largest gold producer looks like from above. As gold production's boomed in Ghana, illegal mines have sprung up along most of its rivers. Earth is mixed in the water, making it untreatable. Miners use mercury to separate the gold. Once mercury's in the water, it's nearly impossible to remove it. Downstream, Ajuwa Menu depends on river water for cooking, drinking and washing, as do most of the people living in the countryside.
Our children often fall sick. Many people are dying these days, and we strongly believe it's the water. The river was our source of clean drinking water until the mining started here. What can we do? The police come and chase the miners away, but they always come back.
Dr. Elliot Tanor says mercury from the mines is killing people. He says the number of patients coming to this hospital in Ashanti region with kidney disease has tripled in the last 10 years, and about a third of them can't afford dialysis, so they die.
This mercury is something that we know that definitely affects the brain, it affects the liver, and it affects the kidney. So we are worried because we tend to see a lot of patients coming from mining areas with all forms of kidney disease. So we know definitely that there is some link.
Ghana's main water provider says the pollution's become so bad it's having to switch off treatment plants because they can't make the water clean. There are abundant natural water resources here, but they're becoming unusable.
If all these things are to continue the way it is, in addition to climate change, we may have most of the rivers in our country may go extinct, and then we may have to be importing water into the system.
Researchers say the government urgently needs to enforce environmental laws to stop illegal mining and clean up the rivers. The health of tens of millions of Ghanaians may depend on it.
This is just a teaser. And a lot of people do not really appreciate it because sometimes we talk of Galamsey, and rightly so, as someone indicated, and I'll get to that very soon, where the person indicated that we don't mine in Accra, so those demonstrating in Accra have no basis. That is fine. That's fair enough. Maybe the person doesn't understand, but as I said, we'll get there very soon. You see, for a very long time now, about 3 or so decades now, in the 80s, right from there to now, successive governments have done everything possible to ensure that we will fight this menace called Galamsey. Indeed, over the past period, the statistics tells us that we've been able to manage it till very recently. Somewhere in the 80s, we had what we call the Small-Scale Gold Mining Act. And the foundation, the rationale behind this act was to legalize artisanal mining and prevent illegal activities. The same thing, in the year 2006, we had the Minerals and Mining Act. This came in to reserve small-scale mining for Ghanaian citizens. We still went further, and all of this was to ensure that we manage Galamsey. Then came in 2013. We even had, in 2013, a joint task force comprising of the military and other security personnel. This was established and it led to Ghana deporting about 4,500 Chinese citizens who were engaging in illegal mining in this country. Throughout, we still realized that it was not making the impact that we needed. Very recently, somewhere 2017, we have the sitting president Akufo-Addo even coming forward to tell us that he was going to put his presidency on the line. And he's going to fight this illegality. Unfortunately, it ended up becoming a big lie that he himself did not even appreciate what he said. Fast forward, we had other strategies and other institutions put in place still under this government, led by His Excellency Akufo-Addo and Bawumia. We had what we call the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining. We also went further to even use some operations that were, cost intensive, such as the Operation Halt, Operation Vanguard. We had the Operation Flash Out. We even had the Galam Stop. And in all of this, it so ended up that we were still not achieving what we needed to achieve. Talking about making sure that we were, preventing or protecting our water bodies. And the reason why is that some of these things, even though it yielded some results, for instance, if you remember, we had an instance where excavators were seized, some were burnt. Unfortunately, it so ended up that some ended up in the hands of some financiers of even the current government that has pledged to put its presidency on the line in fighting this Galamsey menace. And that's why I said earlier on that we must make sure that this time we are putting aside political interest, because it is no longer about politics. It is now about your life, it's about my life. You saw the video that we all went through. Issues affecting individuals, health issues. It's just a matter of time. If we do not take care, we will get to this stage where all of us will be extinct from this earth or from this country called Ghana. Unfortunately, none of these efforts have produced the desired result. And it is so clear. Again, looking at the videos that we have, the pictures that we have, you can see that the Galamsey problem has now, escalated. It is now beyond control. The president has even decided that he won't talk about it anymore. And anyone who talks about it, he gets angry at the person. It is beyond control now. But if it is beyond the control of those that we are paying with our taxes, that is why you and I as citizens, we need to come together and see how we can protect and defend our own lives. There's this report that came from the Africa Defense Forum Military Magazine. And the report is quite interesting. It says that averagely, we have 10,000 Chinese citizens entering Ghana purposely to engage in illegal mining. 10,000 annually, every year. And these are people coming from China. Not to talk of the citizens themselves who are engaged in illegal mining. But you see, we talk about all these things. Look at the video. You can see what happened. See the effect of it. And it cuts across. The first effect you can talk about is that because of the heavy equipment that are being used, it is affecting our forests, and it is also affecting even our farmlands, including major rivers that have been contaminated. And these are rivers that have been serving as a source of, drinking water and other water that we use for other sources or other purposes. Bathing, washing, drinking, feeding of animals, and all that you can think of. Look at River Pra. Some of you have not been to that place, so you don't even know what it is like. Very soon you'll see it on the screen. You will see the state of River Pra. So if you look at it from my left, you will see how it used to be. Currently, as we speak, this is how River Pra looks like. River Ankobra. You will also see it on the screen very soon. This is currently how it looks like on my left. River Uti, River Ofen, Birim. You see all these pictures This should be River Birim. River Birim, this is how it was. And now this is how it is. This is how it is. Can we look at how it was again? River Birim. This is how it was. It was like a mirror, I'm sure. If you go in there, you can see your reflection. So healthy. You can drink it from it. So healthy. Today, this is how it looks like. Look at it. Experts have predicted that by the year 2030, Ghana will be importing water. And remember, we are in the year 2024. We have only 6 years. 6 years to hit 2030. 6 years to hit 2030. In the year 2030, if the trend continues this way, we will be importing water into Ghana to drink, to depend on. Water that we'll be using to cook, we'll be importing it. Just 2 days ago, the Ghana Pharmaceutical Society had a conference, I think in Kumasi or so, outside Accra. And the president, Dr. Samuel Cole Donko, made a profound statement, which buttresses what I'm talking about here. And I'm going to read it. It says, and I quote, "If this environmental degradation continues, and the way we here refers to you and I, Ghanaian citizens, we may soon face the grim reality of importing water to support our local manufacturing industry. Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, producers of, most, if not all, most of our medicines that we take, they have predicted that if it continues this way, water that they need in helping them do the processing or the production, they will need to go and import it. It is not far from what the experts had predicted, that in the next 6 years, 2030, we'll be importing water into this country. As a country, we'll be importing water. And it is all because of what is happening, known as Galamsey. Just 2-3 days ago, PURC also announced utility bills increments. Water bill is gone up. I know people are agitating. Of course, we are in difficult times. So obviously, if you want to increase, you will not receive the happiness or the applause of people. But the fact of the matter is, if you analyze carefully their reason, one of the reasons is that the cost in treating the water has gone up. And why has it gone up? You see, like the River Prada we saw, Ofin, Birim, all the rivers that we saw. When Ghana Water harvests the water, they harvest it. They have an element in it that they need to treat. And that element is referred to as the turbidity. So the turbidity, the normal one is supposed to be 2,000 NTU. And that is, so they have 2,000 NTU turbidity. They have to treat it by adding chemicals and then refining it and doing all the things they need to do to make it good for you and I. So it passes through the necessary channels like the pipe and wherever it will have to pass through. Today, as we speak, instead of 2,000 turbidity or 2,000 NTU, they are saying that when they harvest the water, they are able to identify 14,000 NTU turbidity. 14,000. So what it means is that if treating 2,000 turbidity, they would have needed, or they needed, a chemical of this volume. It means you need to multiply this. Now they have 14,000 instead of the 2,000. And it is as a result of Galamsey. And so you have to multiply the chemical for the treatment about 7 times to be able to take care of the 14,000 turbidity instead of the 2,000 turbidity. And so the cost of it has increased. And so if you are in your homes and you want to listen to someone who says that, after all, we don't mine in Greater Accra, so there's no need for individuals to be demonstrating in Greater Accra, it is just an act of ignorance, an exhibition of ignorance. Because you see, even though you are in Accra, you are not in a community where mining is taking place. When Ghana Water increases the utility bill, it is affecting you, it is affecting me. And the reason why it is affecting you and it is affecting me, or the reason why they will increase it, is because of the Galamsey activity taking place somewhere else. And so all of us are involved. It's going to affect all of us. If Pharmaceutical Society decides that they are now going to import water because they can't trust the water coming from Ghana Water Company, the cost of medicine is going to go high. It's going to affect you, it's going to affect me. And so that is it. The other thing about Ghana Water is that in recent times, if you will observe, we have shortages of water in some communities, particularly in Greater Accra. I'm not very sure of other regions, but in Greater Accra, I know of a number of communities that have been struggling with water. In fact, where I live, for a period, about 2 or so weeks, I was not having water. Ghana Water Company came out to say that it is simply because they are lacking, or where their sources of water, where they harvest water from, it is depreciating. So they are not able to get the quantity that they used to get. Aside stability going up, they are also losing their sources of water. In the next 6 years, if it continues this way, we'll be importing water, maybe from Togo, I don't even know where. But we'll be importing water to be able to drink water and survive in this country. Look at the health issues. And of course, you watch the video, and the doctor came out and he was kind enough to tell us about issues happening. Kidney failure, birth defects. People who don't travel, they don't even know. Doctors in mining communities have been coming up. Indeed, right from last year, I started hearing this. They come out to tell us that the newborn babies, they come up with certain defects that they themselves, they don't even appreciate. They don't even understand as medical doctors. So we have the defects coming in. Cancer. Today cancer, tomorrow cancer. Every now and then, you see a friend today, you talk to someone today, the next moment there's cancer. And the worst part is that now it is even so difficult to even identify it. The cancer stays in your body, develops so much in your body before the doctors are able to find or identify or locate. You are at a stage where nothing can be done. And people are losing their lives as a result of this. That is the health part of it. We also look at the other aspect of it, the effect of it, and that has to do with the forestry. You see, Ghana, we have something called the forest reserves, forests that we have decided to reserve. As we speak now, over 40 of Ghana's forest reserves have been affected by Galamsey. Over 40 have been affected by Galamsey. But forests that we have reserved, now we have allowed individuals to go and mine in those forests. We know the effect. Deforestation. Do we know the effect? When we say that the climate change is changing, the climate is changing, do we know the effect of it? Over 4,726 hectares of forest land in Ghana have been damaged as we speak. In one community, Mankrom community alone, Galamsey was able to wipe out over 100,000 acres of cocoa farms. In just one community, 100,000 acres of cocoa farms. And you and I will brag and say that Ghana is a cocoa production country. Our backbone, the economy's backbone, depends largely on cocoa production. We are sitting down. Over 100,000 acres of cocoa in just one community was taken over by Galamsey. And no wonder, if you refer to Ghana Cocoa Board data, the recent data, it shows that production is currently at 429,323 tons. If you compare it to the previous years, you realize that this is about 55% less than the annual output that we've been receiving or we've been harvesting as a country. 55% less. So galamsey is also affecting even our cocoa production as we speak. More than half. We are doing more than below half of what we've been doing over the past years. And that is the effect of galamsey. That is what galamsey is doing to us. And I keep asking myself, in all of this, why is it that recent times galamsey seems to be, out of hands? We seem not to be able to, resolve it. And it is just two reasons. The first one is because of corruption. Corruption seems to be, surrounding our pretense to fight galamsey. From 2017 till now, the amount of money we have committed in the name of fighting galamsey, it is very clear that, but for corruption, we would have been able to make so much impact. Today, as we speak, remember we had in one of those Galam Stop activities, Ghana was able to arrest or seize about 500 excavators. Today, as we speak, the question is, who can tell us where those excavators are? And yet we claim to be fighting galamsey. Who can tell us, as we speak today, where do we have that 5,000 or 500, 500 excavators that were seized? Isn't it so alarming? Corruption seems to be engulfing. We were here and we saw videos of individuals that were appointed to lead in the fight against galamsey. We saw videos, we saw exposés that came out indicating and suggesting strongly that those individuals themselves were supporting and pushing people to engage in the galamsey activities in exchange for money, bribes. Pure corruption. The second thing that is making it so difficult for us to fight galamsey in this dispensation is what we call the political will, which I mentioned earlier. You know the funny thing? The Akufo-Addo-Bawumia-led administration, as we have it now, they believe strongly that the 2020 elections, they lost a lot of the parliamentary seats. And when they did their analysis, they felt that most of those parliamentary seats that they lost were in mining communities. And so they reflected and realized that probably it's because they thought or they created an impression that they were fighting galamsey. And so it went against them. And so this time, what they've decided to do is that whether Ghanaians die or do not die, for the sake of they winning more seats or even winning the general election come 2024, they are going to do nothing about this galamsey. And they don't care, they don't mind. And there have been so many platforms where they have exhibited this, they have even said it boldly. There's one man who is supposed to be the coordinator, campaign coordinator for the Bawumia administration, who came out boldly to tell us, Ghanaians. And that was, I think, just over the weekend also. This weekend, a lot of things has happened. Just this weekend. Came to tell us boldly that as far as the NPP is concerned, they are not going to stop galamsey. And when they say they are not going to stop galamsey, they are making reference to ensuring that members in their party engage in galamsey or illegal small-scale mining, they won't stop them. And also individuals who are doing it, whether they are in their party or not in their party, for the sake of they winning their elections or the general elections, they will not stop galamsey. What it simply means is that it is now a position of winning elections over saving human lives. And for them, they will choose winning elections over saving your life and over saving my life. Key state officials, party financiers, and all the people you can think of, it has been proven that most of them are also engaged in this galamsey thing. And just this evening, my attention was, brought to one gentleman who was, I think he was the former NPP regional secretary in Ashanti region. And look at it. Profile of companies seeking to mine or prospect in Ghana's forest reserve. Company name, Sam and Jan Limited. Company incorporation date, November 8, 2017. Mining lease application date, February 2, 2023. Duration of mining lease, 30 years. Where? Odan River, a forest reserve. Who is behind it? Sam Pine, Mayor of Kumasi and former NPP Regional Secretary, Ashanti Region. How do we fight galamsey if we have this kind of individuals? 30 years in a forest reserve. How? How can that happen? I mean, how do you do that? We don't care anymore. We are no more interested in what happens. We are not interested in whether or not people are going to die or people are not going to die. As far as we are concerned, it is more of, we need to win an election. And that is why I said this evening show, all we are in to do is to find solution. I have some few things in mind. I will need you to also communicate with me. Let me know. What do you have in mind? We are in a state of national disaster. We are in that state now. The phone line is activated. We have 2 lines today. They are all activated on the screen. There are messages also coming in. We'll be engaging those who have done the testing. We'll be reading your messages. But these are also phone lines you can call in. How do we stop this issue called galamsey? How do we fight it? Now, one of the things that I think we can do is that with immediate effects, all mining activities around water bodies and forest reserves should be banned. We should ban them with immediate effect. Whether they have license or they do not have license, let's put a hold on it, on small-scale mining, whether it is legal or it is illegal. Let us ban it for now with immediate effect. Now, in the year 2022, I think in July or so, there was an LI that was passed by Parliament that mandated the president to, be able to give, how do we call it, license. I'll come to that, but we have a caller on the line. Good evening and welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Good evening.
Your name and where you are calling from. All right, so sorry, you can call in again. So, as I indicated, in the year 2022, we had an LI passed by Parliament, which gave the president the power to be able, or what we call executive power, to approve for mining in forest reserves. And I don't know why, Ghanaians, parliamentarians decided to do that. Caller, you are welcome to Politics and Beyond.
I'm Abraham.
May I know your name and where you are calling from?
I'm Abraham from Anabraka official town.
Yes, Abraham, please go ahead.
These people, they are not ready. Abraham.
Abraham, can you go on?
The people are not ready to fight galamsey because they are also benefiting from the people. They are benefiting from all happening over there. So they are not ready. As they are not ready, Ghanaians have to fight.
Yes, Abraham, please go ahead. Meet you.
So that is exactly what I have to say.
All right, thank you so much. So that's law, which gives, that is the LI, that gives the president the power. That is LI2 forces, that gives the president the power to grant license where minors or individuals can go into foreign reserve. With immediate effect, we must also find a way of revoking it. Let us revoke that law. I don't even know why parliamentarians decided to grant that power to the president. So that's the second solution that I think we have to do. The third one, the president should deal with offenders. Unfortunately, this is a proposal, an ideal proposal, but the current president has proven to us that he's not in a position to do that. He will just not do that. Not that he's not in a position to do that, but he will just not do that. Because you remember when Professor Frimpong Boateng's report came, which indicted individuals like Akonta Mining, which had the owner being the regional chairman, Ashanti regional chairman, MPP Wuntumi. When the report came, an investigation was still ongoing. The president decided to go and visit some chiefs. And he decided that he would go with this same man, Wuntumi. Hola, welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Metonka.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your name and where you're calling from? Ashaman.
Ashaman. My name is John.
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 John, please go ahead. John, feel free. Anyone who calls, you are at liberty to speak English or speak Twi, any language of your choice. Please go ahead.
Okay, I will speak English.
Please go ahead, John.
I said.
Yes.
What is going on now? The people, MPs are not ready to stop galamsey. As they are not ready to stop galamsey, let's call civil disobedience and go attack the people and then ask them and put them to prison because they want us to die. We should also kill them. That's all.
Thank you so much. So,
yes.
Thank you so much, John. Inti, as I was saying, the president decided to go in the presence of Wuntumi, someone that has been indicted. Just to buttress the point that one of the proposals I am giving this evening is that the president should make sure that the offenders are dealt with. But unfortunately, it is clear that he will not do that. So that we will want to take it out. The other thing is that, again, the president should, with immediate effect, dismiss all these CEs, district chief executives, whose districts we will be able to find this illegal mining taking place. Unfortunately, it is clear that the president will not do that one too. But that would have been a good solution. The other one is that we need an independent, non-partisan commission. And I'll talk about this a bit more. Well, you are welcome to Politics and Beyond. Mpacho Koso, within the saying. Richard, you.
Na me papa na okasa wo kumasi baby say on person we know Galamsey site no ana Galamsey district no no all kana na nem so born and some doctor no we crime no person so we nya sa doctor no friend doctor no ana put at person bi sana mo na afeka doctor mo wo si ade ni ma de na o kasa most money so being into
quite sad, you know, because just like to borrow the words of my uncle, Dr. Nyahuta Maklu. I say, if Ghana is a civilized country, and I'm going to say same, If Ghana is a civilized country or was a civilized country, think someone like that gentleman should have been impeached from parliament immediately for making that comment. He should have. But why? It won't happen because and I'm not for or against. I'm not saying anything about, but just last week or so, some individuals demonstrated on this same issue and some were arrested by the police. But you see, Yawamemu Hanmu say, snatching of ballot boxes is illegal criminal offense. In parliament, live video or live telecast, we had someone who is supposed to be a member of parliament, representing a constituency, being referred to as an honorable member. And I'm making reference to Carlos Ahinkra. You say or snatch ballot paper, ballot box. If it was done by any citizen, the person would have been arrested by the police by now. But when Carlos did that, you know what happened? He still went on his duties as a member of parliament. Not only that, Onama Okra police protection in the name of a bodyguard. And so that is the country we find ourselves in. And that is why someone can come out boldly and say, because Galamsey, whatever it is, as far as Oyo concerned, because Oyo coordinator for Baumia's campaign, and because we are looking at the bigger picture, which is we are looking at, a minute picture, which is the general election. Winning election. You can die, I can die. They don't care about it. That's the country we find out. The president should dismiss, and I've talked about that. What we need is an independent, non-partisan commission. So that, this commission is needed to probe all mining companies' leases. The rates at which I am licensed is so alarming. Look, I can tell you on authority that depending on where you stand politically, you can get a mining license in less than 1 week in Ghana. In less than 1 week in Ghana. Due diligence been a year before they granted this lease or license. Hola, you are welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Hello.
You are welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Thank you.
But your name, good evening, and where you are calling from?
My name is Idrisu.
Idrisu, go ahead. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Accra Timber Market. Ide.
Okay, Idrisu, please go ahead.
Yeah. What we can do to stop this guarantee is from the Ministry of Lands and then Natural Resources. It's not performing. So, in due course, we would have preferred he should resign. And then, President should go ahead to appoint a new minister to the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. And then the new minister who is going to administer that institution should be able at least to withdraw all licenses, both individual and then at least most of their companies. So if the ministry is able to do this, then I think we can solve our goal by stopping gravity in the country. Hello?
Yeah, Idris, I'm listening.
Yeah, that is what I have.
Thank you so much. But just for your information, because of the time, we are getting closer to the election, just about a month or so. The president doesn't have the powers to appoint anyone anymore. So he has to do with what he has. But you see, President Nankasa, he has come out to tell us so many times that the people he has appointed are very competent and they are doing their work. And that's why there's no need for any reshuffling or reappointing anyone. And so the president, as far as he's concerned, what is happening, that is his best. Water bodies going bad, being polluted, we dying, getting strange diseases, kidney diseases, cancer and all that. As far as the president is concerned, that is exactly what he expects. And that is why he thinks that his appointees are doing extremely well and there's no need for anyone to be taken out. But thank you so much for your contribution. There are two more solutions that I have here, which I'll share with you very soon. But let me go through some of the messages that has come. This one says, it's not easy. I suggest government should improve agriculture sector so that unemployed youth will get work doing. Okay, the name did not come. Very well. Hola, you are welcome to Politics and Beyond.
The people
Yo, baby, be pacho koso.
Takwa yensuo no, nsuo baby a yeke no. Nsuo na yesanom ni sisi agehefo na asɛn no. But the government not so ya na adwen sɛ obekum ye ma. What or he do what Bible man no what can asɛm a ontie. Na sɛ Yankopɔn akyerɛ no mo hu sɛ na ɔno nyame te ase. Nti ne maka na ne Saddam president person challenge yame a. Nia wadu yo obi wo Bible na ebi beba no so. Ti sɛ so obekum me ba na sɛ nyame sɛ wuo ni me ɔdo ne ba. Ana ade ne se. Me tell me ni ahoɔden because of nsu aye no mi ti. Eni ahoɔden. Nti on so didi ye. Na nyame ne na ɔne wɔn satan. Nyankopɔn abɔ nimpa awi ase na sɛ kani breti ebokuku ya. Ni nyame na nkasa yi ni sɛ ɔmɔboa ye no. Ɔno ne John Mahama. Ɔno na ɔba abɛboa ye. Nti ɔno ne yɛhwɛ n'anim sɛ nyame ɔnso na akoma mu no ntum ne ɔbɛyɛ ntete na ɔmɛyɛ mayɛ.
So as I was saying, the message goes, my name is Amokwando from Asinfosu. I think the only solution is to vote the MPP out. I'm Ibrahim from Ashanti Bekwai. We can stop Galamsey by thinking as Ghanaians and not politicians. Thank you. I agree to that. Ima, yes, my greetings. I receive them. Looks like we are all timid in this country. You and I included. According to Professor Frimpong Boaten's report, he explicitly implicated the president and his appointees, and we are unable to look into the president's face and tell him so. Why can't we as citizens force the president to resign? Since he put his presidency on the line and he failed. This is Kweku Nyameche Accra. I agree with you to an extent. Hello, my name is Ion Basta from Boga. This is the family and friends money-making machine. This one says, a minister in Ashanti region said NDC has imported foreigners to do galamsey. Does he have a neck on his head? Well, that's a question. I'm sure if he hears, he will answer. Politics and Beyond. Do we have a caller?
Yes.
Yes. Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Mohammed, calling from Tamale.
Mohammed, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think your program is a very nice program.
Thank you.
But if Galamsey is going to stop, I think the media general, all television stations have to come together. After coming together, that's a program they should have. You should have an affiliate station like TV3, Adum, all about 10 or 20 stations hook up, and then the message can go very far. You see, it can go very far. Because this is a nice program, but how many people are watching it now? That's the problem. How many people are watching it now? That is the problem. I'm telling you. Looking at our age and what is happening, we don't know in the next 5 years or 10 years whether even when we are old, we can get water to proper water to drink. Yeah, it's a problem, but the education has to be, said very well. And it's such a program, if you have an affiliate stations, well connected, TV3, Joy TV, Adum, and other stations, then you discuss it. It will help all of us as Ghanaians.
Thank you
I think that's my suggestion. May God help Ghana.
Amen. Thank you so much. I'm sure other sister stations will also do same. Of course, we all need to work on this because it's a national disaster, as I indicated. Mr. Wilson, you are right. Illegal mining is not about politics. It's a general problem that we must seek solution for it, regardless of how the governments show less concern about such situation. There are differences between mindset that requires governance and the mindset that used to make money. Akufo-Addo and Bawumia are making money instead of problem solving or problem solvers. Our future is hanging in the air. I am Andy from Insawam. Mr. Wilson, Galamsey can't be stopped today or tomorrow unless President Akufo-Addo step down as president, because he said he has put his presidency on the line and he has failed. So what he should do is to step down. Period. My greetings to, okay, thank you. This is Ablade from Efiakuma Zongo in Takrade. Galamsey issues Brohaha. Mr. Wilson, didn't you hear MPP MP saying the Galamseyers should do their work and they are not going to stop them today, not tomorrow? Yes, I heard it. And I wish we can have his picture on the screen so that those who did not see him or hear him talk will know the kind of person who is representing. I think he's representing one constituency in Ashanti region or so. Such a person, this is a person representing a constituency. He's part of those making laws for Ghana. So you can imagine why Ghana seems to be at a standstill. That is it. That is the person. Galamsey. I blame those who are affected by Galamsey and still plan to vote for Bawumia and his MPP government. Okay, Abladi again. Good evening, Mr. Wilson. I'm in the person of Kelvin, testing you from OEB. So in my perspective, the law which was passed in 2022, that is the LI 246, which I mentioned earlier, must be revoked and the president has to declare a state of emergency with immediate effect. And I think this is the only way to avert the menace at hand. Many thanks. Thank you so much. I agree absolutely with you, Kelvin. Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Wilson. I am Mugabe from Spintex. Nanado should be ashamed of himself as a president of this country. People are dying due to this illegal mining. As president, he has done nothing. He hasn't done anything about it. No wonder from him to the cleaner in Jubilee houses are all involved. Okay, not so clear. Good evening, Mr. Wilson. Thanks for the good work you are doing for Mother Ghana. We are proud of you. Concerning the Galamsey issues, first of all, we are disappointed in our president for telling us lie. He told us when he comes to power, even if it would take him or his seat to stop Galamsey, he will. We are being spectators too. He commands police to arrest us. May nature judge him. Good evening, Mr. Wilson and my boss. Welcome back. This is my take. Firstly, you need to have that personal will and nothing else. Again, anything concerning Galamsey should stop immediately and then review all the licenses given out since 92 up to date. After which proper guidelines should be outlined to monitor and control anything concerning Galamsey going forward. I am Fuseini Mohammed from Sefi, Adabokrom Polyclinic. Fuseini, thank you so much. I'm happy to read your message also. Mr. Wilson, Dr. Ayu should be sacked by Akufo-Addo Bawumia. Forward his reckless statement that MPP will never stop Galamsey today nor tomorrow. Excuse me to say that this MPP government, okay, no. If they sit aloof and allow, all right, that's okay. So, Stephen Kwabinya, thank you so much. Just this morning, a politician came on TV that their political party will not win the constituencies in the mining areas if the Galamsey is banned. What's your view? I think it is not wisdom, but craziness. 2028 president to be. You didn't add your name. But truly, I mean, that is it. For me, it's craziness. You know why? It is just they deciding that they are choosing political power over human lives. As far as they are concerned, they don't mind if Galamsey will kill our children, will kill our mothers, our fathers, will kill even us, you and I. As long as it will make sure that they win their elections. That is all they are interested in. But if you win elections, and at the end of the day, the people that you want the power over are no more, what is the essence? What will be the benefits? But that's the unfortunate thing. Galamsey, if not today, like I never knew all this, while the fight against Galamsey was a fight against some members of our parliament. How can a whole MP say Galamsey won't be stopped today nor tomorrow? And we still want to maintain such an MP. In fact, Honorable Ayu Efriye, the Efidiase Asokore MP, must be voted out. He is a bad leader. Well, this is from Kuma Ablade again from Zongo. Good evening, Mr. Wilson. Thank you for the good work doing for Mother Ghana. The issue of illegal mining in Ghana has to be tackled from Jubilee House because after President Akufo-Addo put in his presidency, it has worsened everything. I'm Ikuamwa Christian from Odome Chala in the Oti region of Ghana. Ghana is going to be a dead hole if they don't stop polluting the water bodies. Just imagine a situation where water bodies are being destroyed to about 75%. You didn't add your name. Good evening, Mr. Wilson Jr. The only way to reasonable minimize this Galamsey thing is to vote out NPP government. Our ministers of the state are now accusing the NPP of importing illegal miners outside Ghana to pollute our water bodies. How on earth can this happen? You didn't add your name. The ambassadors for Togo, Niger, and Burkina Faso should come out to condemn the comments by Dr. Ayu Efriye, MP of Efidiasi in Ashanti region, about their nationals brought in by NDC to engage in illegal mining in the country. And this is from Francis Agbota from Angloga. Good evening, Mr. Wilson. Please, we are in danger because the gurus of this country are the causes of Galamsey. But we thank God that it's election time. We will vote massively against them. And this is from Bright, from Brekum, in BA. Galamsey is destroying our water, land, and air, affecting us all. Despite past government efforts, the current administration seems to be letting it happen. All right, so this is Aigbe from Tamale. Mr. Wilson, God bless you guys. This current government is very wicked for not responding to the issue of Galamsey. And this is from, okay, so he says, a huge sum of money was used to clean up the banking sector. Why can't the government do the same to quash all Galamsey activities within the country? The coordinator for Baumia campaign, big time. He aired big time. God have mercy on us. Greed. All mining activities must be stopped with immediate effect. And that is all I'm saying. We must ensure that all mining activities are stopped with immediate effect. And truly, this gentleman is actually the coordinator, the national campaign coordinator. And you know, prior to this evening, I did a study of both the NDC and the MPP manifesto, trying to find out, particularly from the MPP, I was finding out their policies on Galamsey. And it's quite strange. I didn't see any. I didn't. I just did not see any policy put in place in fighting Galamsey. But as we move forward, I'm sure this conversation is not ending. We will continue it next week. All the messages that I'm not able to read, I will make sure that I read them next week. But one other thing that I believe we can do as citizens, because the politicians, especially the governments of the day, have proven to us that they are interested in winning the next election and not protecting your life, not protecting my life. And that is why I am calling for all of us as citizens to team up. Tomorrow, Organized Labor, TUC, they will be coming out with a policy or what the way forward as to what they need to do. Whatever they decide to do, as far as the fight against Galamsey is concerned, I'm encouraging each and every one of you to associate yourself with it. The next moment, if you hear any organized group deciding to hit the streets, demonstrate against Galamsey, even if you are in a wheelchair, join. Because that's the only way you can protect your future. That's the only way you can protect the unborn children. That's the only way you can protect individual lives, your life, my life, the life of our parents, our children, our siblings, our loved ones, even the unborn ones. Let us do that. Galamsey is a national disaster, and all of us must be awake and let us treat it as such, as a national disaster. All too soon, this is where time will allow us. I'm very happy and privileged to be with you this evening for us to discuss this. I believe strongly that our eyes have been opened to certain things, for us to appreciate that Galamsey that we've been talking about is not far from us. Very soon, the next 6 years, if it continues this way, we'll be importing water. Think about that. Our pharmaceutical society says that they need to import water very soon to be able to manufacture the medicines that you and I will be buying. Think about that. Doctors are saying that we are having strange diseases, kidney, cancer, all that you can think of, birth defect. Think about that. This coming Wednesday, this episode is going to be repeated on the same platform, TV XYZ, at exactly 11 a.m. That's this Wednesday. You can watch it again. Call in your friends, let them watch again. Next week, just around the same time or earlier than now, that is next week, Monday, at exactly 8 p.m., I'll come your way again with another episode, transformative one. So then, all I can tell you is that as we approach this general election, governance is a serious business. Don't allow anyone to play with it. It is about your life. Don't allow anyone to play with it, please. We'll meet again, God willing, next week. Till then, all I can say is good night.